A century ago, reading meant a lamp, a book, and a solitary night. But today, when you open a book, thousands may be reading alongside you. WeChat Reading, a digital reading application that integrates social features with online reading services, is transforming reading from private contemplation into public social conversation. Through the lens of Jones and Hafner's five-dimensional framework of digital literacy, doing, meaning, relating, being, and thinking, we now dissect this quiet yet profound reading revolution leading by WeChat Reading.
So, what actually happened when we read on a platform like this? Reading is no longer just opening a book, scanning words, and closing it. Let me show you how WeChat Reading is fundamentally redefining the very act of the reading itself. So let's start with something that seems simple, highlighting. In a physical book, your highlights are private, hidden in your personal copy. But on WeChat Reading, the moment you highlight a passage, it becomes a public trace. You immediately see a notification how many others have highlighted the same words, sometimes hundreds, even thousands. But highlighting is just the beginning. As literacy scholars Jones and Hafner argue, digital technologies don't just change what we do, they fundamentally reshape the meaning of the activity itself. Reading is no longer one-way reception. It's a two-way conversation happening within the space of the text. So, when reading becomes a conversation, what happens to the meaning of the text? This is where WeChat Reading gets really fascinating. Take this classic line from The Little Prince. Only from these figures do they think they have learned anything about him. There is a brilliant irony here. On this platform, the value of this very sentence is signaled by a figure. Exactly 2,214 people have highlighted it. When you click in, you find a second layer of meaning created by the community. This exemplifies what Piazzolla called dynamic textual meaning. Meaning is no longer monopolized by author. It is a dynamic process, constantly activated and reshaped through collective participation.
The effect of WeChat Reading begins with one media social circle, WeChat Friends. If you want, you can know how long your pals have been reading on this app. Besides, you are able to see someone's weekly reading dance on ranking lists when you follow mutually. So, reading is no longer isolated, but acquire a sense of competition with others. Instead of being total strangers with no intersection, readers participate in instant communication. The private messaging service reinforces the connections. There are people who build an online group to facilitate interaction. Some of them even become friends in real life. It can be seen that WeChat Reading utilizes our existing social network to create what James Poetry called affinity spaces. Let's just say the readers are connected by shared interest, transforming the book into a social hub. In addition to readers, writers are affected as well. They do not merely hide behind books, but appear on the front stage. They create for lots of online audience, actively respond to their readers, join the reader community and share their feelings of composition. The two-way relationship is formed between readers and authors. They establish the affinity spaces together. This interactivity really distinguishes from tradition.
Opening WeChat Reading is all you get, just knowledge. Profile picture, bookshelf, medals, ranking. These elements constitute your digital identity. You are observed, codified, and compiled. Your reading has become a form of social performance, and your bookshelf has turned into a kind of identity card. Some people use original English language books to showcase a cross-cultural perspective, while others use philosophical books to demonstrate profound thinking. But when you are concentrating on constructing your identity, do you realize that your way of thinking is also being reshaped? The algorithm is recommending the books that you might like, but it also might trap you in an information bubble, making you can only see the content aligns with your viewpoints. According to Liu, digital environments can lead to distracted reading. On WeChat reading, the constant interruption of social notifications and thoughts may challenge our ability for deep, sustained reflection. This is the being and thinking aspect of digital literacy. The digital space is both an identity theater and a battlefield where we need to maintain clear thinking.
When we highlight a passage, we no longer merely mark our own renaissance. We declare to the world. When our interpretations are linked and replied to, the meaning of the text grows and flows. When we glimpse friends reading footprints or turn strangers into confidence through a shared idea, we feel connected and related. And when reading hours or annual reports became social currency, we are constantly reshaping our identity. WeChat reading didn't change the words themselves, but it has fundamentally rewritten how we read, how we produce meaning, how we connect with others, and how we become ourselves.